Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I would love to find a cure for dementia. I think every member of this body would love to find a cure for dementia. Every Texan would love to find a cure for dementia. But I do not know what part of stop growing government and give people back their money this body clearly does not understand. We are going to stand up and create an entire new government agency today. How many is that just this week? I have literally lost track of how many new government programs and agencies this body has created just this week alone. As President Trump is cutting and shrinking the Federal National Institute for Health, it appears that the Texas House wants to stand up a Texas version of the NIH. We're going to stand up a Texas NIH just as Trump is cutting the federal NIH. This is the exact opposite of the Trump agenda, and I want to be very clear about that. This takes $3 billion of the surplus which, by the way, we only have, I want to be really clear about this, not because we have been fiscally responsible, but because we have overtaxed Texans and we're sitting on $24 billion of their dollars. This takes $3 billion of that, and instead of returning it to the taxpayers of Texas, this doubles down on corporate welfare and crony corporatism. This is corporate welfare on steroids. And by the way, the money in this grant program doesn't even have to go to healthcare, doesn't even have to go to research. I mean, somebody's got to pay for the 55 bureaucrats that this bill authorizes. This authorizes the construction of buildings. Guys, we are going to make government contractors very rich, while it's very unlikely we're going to find a cure for dementia as a result of this bill. This is a classic case of government picking winners and losers. And by the way, government sucks at picking winners and losers. Why just dementia? Something that never gets talked about, even if this were the role of government, which it's not, something that never gets talked about is the opportunity cost of doing something, okay? We never talk about that. What good could be done in the private sector with the $3 billion instead of the government taking it, handing it to bureaucrats to spend as bureaucrats see fit? What kinds of cures could we find? What kind of therapeutics for other diseases such as Lyme disease, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, many different kinds of cancers, Crohn's disease, cystic fibrosis, lupus? How many cures or therapeutics could we find for those diseases? Why are we selecting a winner here, and why are we picking winners and losers? We should not do that. Think about all the money that taxpayers are not able to give to charities or to nonprofits to help people with dementia because we are stealing billions of dollars from them. I want to be clear about this. I trust free markets, I trust free people, and I trust free enterprise far more than I trust government bureaucrats. Dementia is a problem. It's a real problem. But I do have to remind this body, and it feels like I have to remind this body every day, that the solution to every problem in our society is not a new government program, a new government bureau, or a new government agency, yet that's exactly what we're doing. When free Texans invest their own money, they have a much stronger incentive to get results than government bureaucrats do. In this misguided pursuit of doing something that might possibly be good, we are doing something that is definitively bad. We are making every Texan more poor. And we are keeping property taxes, I want to say this real slowly. This bill keeps property taxes and makes property taxes $3 billion higher than they would otherwise have to be. And let's talk about how we're paying for this real quick, guys. We are cooking the books. You will notice we're doing this through a constitutional amendment. What that does is it allows a permanent funding stream that a future legislature doesn't have to vote on, and it allows us to skirt the constitutional spending cap. So I'm going to summarize with 3 points real quick, and then I'll be done. Here's the main points, guys. The Texas government is already spending too much money. The Texas budget continues to grow faster than average taxpayers' ability to keep up with it. Adding more spending, even for well-intended causes, is fiscally irresponsible without corresponding offsets or reforms. And let me be clear, this bill has no offsets or reforms. Taxpayer-funded spending on specific diseases distorts markets. Public subsidies can crowd out private investment, slow innovation, and create opportunity costs, as I have previously discussed. Texas should focus on having the lowest regulatory and tax burden in America so that all sectors, including every individual, nonprofit, for-profit corporation doing medical R&D, will flock to Texas, and we can find cures for countless other diseases and therapeutics that could benefit all Texans, not just some. And then finally, this drains resources from real property tax relief. Every dollar we're spending in this bill is a dollar that is not being used to start eliminating property taxes for Texas families, including Texas families who are struggling to care for family members suffering from dementia. the best thing the Texas government can do, and what we should do, what we must do, is let people keep more of their hard-earned money and give back the billions of dollars that we have already stolen from them. Respectfully, I urge you to vote no.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Money, for what purpose?
will the gentleman yield for questions?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
Absolutely.
The gentleman yields.
Mr. Harrison, are you opposed to investment in dementia research?
I support investment into research regarding dementia and all kinds of other diseases.
Do you support people privately donating money for a cause such as this?
Not only do I support people donating privately for a cause such as finding a cure for dementia, but also treatments for dementia. Also, I want to maximize Texans' ability to help their loved ones who are suffering from dementia, and the best way we can do that is to give them $3 billion of their money back so that they can have more freedom and more opportunity to privately seek cures and care for their loved ones suffering from dementia.
Mr. Harrison, do you oppose private industries investing in finding a cure for this horrible disease that hurts so many Texans and their families?
It's a great question, and not only do I support private industry putting money to find cures and treatments and preventions for dementia and every other disease, we should be pursuing policies that incentivize that, and the best way to do that is not by giving government bureaucrats $3 billion to waste on contractors. It's to maximize it's to allow Texas to have the lowest tax burden, the lowest regulatory burden, so that Texas could become the biopharmaceutical manufacturing and R&D hub, not just for America, but for the entire world. And that is the opportunity cost that this bill ignores.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. I appreciate it.
Thank you for those questions, Representative Money.
Chair recognizes Dr. Alverson in favor